Jar Oil. The company have filling stations across the country, and our rates are relatively cheaper than anyone else across the country. Jar Oil is the biggest producer and distributor of cement in the country with the most competitive prices in the market.
Excellent jam, Wave.
Yo, apply. Yo, luta do de. Luta munulo jel moto nga andil mahalis. Hello?
Busel mo fine.
What?
Busel mo fine.
Oh, yes!
Wave acts in Gambia. Deposit and withdraw money, pay bills, and buy mobile credit without fees. Transfer money wherever in the country for only 1% fee. At Wave, Busel mo fine. Wave, your money is yours.
The 9th of September 2025, and on West Coast Radio, I am Peter Gomez, and this is Coffee Time. And as I said first today, an exclusive first interview with the newly elected president of the Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry, GCCI, Mr. Njundu Fati. He's the 11th president of the GCCI. He has built ventures employing more than 200 people, and he promises a vision-driven leadership hinged on his Hexapro agenda, a manifesto laying out 6 bold priorities aimed at transforming the chamber into a more inclusive, transparent, and economically impactful institution. We will get Mr. Fati to further elaborate on the Hexapro initiative later, but first, let's welcome him to his first Coffee Time interview. In fact, he tells me this is the first time he's giving a live radio interview. Good morning, Njundu. We tend to be very informal on the program here, even though you and I are meeting for the first time. Tell us about yourself.
Thank you, Peter. I am Njundu Fati, and I am an entrepreneur and a businessman. And in terms of experience, I have worked both in the private sector as well as in the public sector. In terms of my public sector experience, I've worked with Social Security. I'm a technology guy. I have a bachelor's degree and MSc degree in computer science. And in Social Security, I was the Systems and Database Administrator. I also worked with IEC as a database consultant for the 2001 and 2006 National Assembly and presidential elections. I have a lot of experience also in terms of the private sector. I worked with the GT Bank when they newly established as the head of the technology group. I've worked with the IFMIS project under the Ministry of Finance at the Accountant General's Department as the head of the technical group, as a World Bank consultant for 7 years. I also, in terms of my entrepreneurial expertise, thank you. This is Lasting Solutions. I don't know whether it was deliberate, but when I saw it, I said, coffee time. I am a founder and a major shareholder of Lasting Solutions, one of the leading IT companies in the Gambia. I am a co-founder of Supersonics, the microfinance now called Salam Financial Services. In terms of corporate governance, I also have quite a bit of experience in the boardroom. For the past 6 years, I have been the treasurer under Idimas Jobs leadership at the chamber. I have served under Sola Mahoney on the Gamtel board. Currently, I'm the vice chairman of the Civil Service University Governing Board. So that's me. That's me.
Wow. Very, very, very important positions. Let's talk about your Hexapro manifesto. Hexa is 6, and of course you have 6.
So Hexapro is a name I adopt, and it's a 6 agenda point, 6 agenda program. That's why I call it Hexapro. You look at the Chamber of Commerce and Industry, GCCI.
Yes,
it is a membership organization. It is a private sector organization. So we have to be relevant to our members. We have to be responsive to the needs of our members, and we have to serve the entire private sector of the Gambia, not just a portion of the Gambia. So the Exa Pro has 6 points. Number 1 is inclusivity and diversity, and what we mean by that is the chamber should be inclusive in the sense that we need to be all embracing, irrespective of the age of the business players. It has to be inclusive, irrespective of the gender of the business community, whether it's man, woman. It doesn't really matter. It has to be inclusive in terms of age as well. So youth, women, these are generally disadvantaged in terms of their role in our community, and all these people category of people are supposed to play very vital role in the economic development and in the private sector of the country. If we ignore any of these, then a greater chunk of our workforce is being relegated to the background, and therefore our push for national development will be seriously slowed down. Yeah. So also point number 2 is that as a membership of an organization, people always ask, we are paying our subscription, what are we getting from GCCI? And during this campaign, I really struggled to answer that question. I answer, because though the chamber is doing a lot of work, but is the communication enough? Are we reaching the right people? Are we communicating in terms of what value we are giving them? You take people like, I'm a Badibunka, yeah, originally from Kerewan, grew up in Brikama, I'm a Brikama Boyo.
Yes.
So I go to my people and say, a business, for example, people, SMEs, say, you need to register with GCCI and you have to pay a subscription fee. And they would ask, why should I pay a subscription fee? What sort of value are we getting from GCCI? Under my leadership, we would have various programs like training programs, entrepreneurship training for youth, for women, so that they will know we are there to represent them. We are meant to add value to their programs and their businesses so that they will be more successful. That's number 2 of my agenda. Advocacy is a key role. Government is a big animal. You know, they are there for all of us. We cannot.
Others would say government is a big beast.
So I would be more diplomatic and say big animal. Yeah. And sometimes they stand on our way in many ways. So we have to keep talking to them. We cannot keep talking to them. We can never stop talking to them in a diplomatic way. But we have to continue engaging government, and not only government, but all other stakeholders, so that the environment that will be created will be more enabling to really make the private sector the engine of growth they claim it to be. It has to be practical, and that has to reflect in terms of the policy directives they are coming up with. For example, the form of taxes. You look at our country, for instance, there is so much duplicity of taxes. You pay area
now
council.
The business community will be saying, you know, President-elect is talking.
Yeah. You look at the area councils. All the area councils now are increasing their tariffs for businesses. Trade licenses, they are so high. NACA, National Education Levy, the central government taxes. So the taxes are not only high, they are so much duplicated. To the extent that I'm not sure whether they are helping the private sector to generate income and plow back those income to grow, create opportunities for employment, create opportunities of wealth, capital creation, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So that's another thing. Then financial sustainability of the chamber is key. Chamber, as I said earlier, is a membership organization, so we get a lot of subscription from members, but that cannot be our only source of revenue. In fact, we may not be able to deliver our services unless we have the financial muscle. No institution is strong until it has the financial base to deliver the services that it wanted to deliver. You take, for example, the chamber provide a lot of delegated service for projects like routes, etc., for EU, etc. So we need to expand on that. We need to have more partnership with the World Bank, with all the various programs and development partners, so that will help us generate more revenue. GCCI also is the owner of the Trade Fair Center. So we have been developing a concept to develop the Trade Fair Center into a business center where we would have hotels, where we would have shopping malls, etc., etc.
Oh, wow.
This can seriously expand the resource base of the chamber,
Of course.
and that is going to be a priority in my agenda, making our resources really sweat for us to have the financial capacity, financial resources to embark on much more campaigns that our members, the SMEs, the individual businesses, the startups desire. Then cross-border trade during the First Republic, one of the major contributors to Gambia's GDP was the transit trade. And also, if you consider the size and the population and the location of the Gambia within Senegal, unless we really leverage on regional integration, the ECOWAS protocols, the Africa Free Continental, our growth may be greatly limited. So we need to engage government, especially the foreign ministry, the trade ministry, to engage countries that are around us. Senegal in particular, we cannot live without them. We are destined forever. And we need to build a partnership that will be mutually respectful and mutually beneficial.
So you will be having, a straight dial line, not only to the Minister of Trade, but also the Minister of Foreign Affairs.
If you look at the role of GCCI, while we may appear to be dealing more directly with the Ministry of Trade, we also deal with a lot of other ministries. For example, the GRA, we need to work with them. They need to understand the concerns of the business community. We also need to educate.
Why GRA? They're just tax collectors.
No, I'm coming. We need to do taxpayer education with them, because we also need taxes and people must pay their tax obligation. So we can work with GRA to provide tax education to our members. We also have to work with the Ministry of Finance.
Yes.
My own friend and brother, Sidiketa.
Yeah.
We need to have a lot of dialogue and conversation with them. That taxation, if it is too much, if it becomes a burden, then it affects the growth of businesses.
True.
And that is a fact we need to acknowledge.
True.
Government must acknowledge that. But of course, it is a conversation
Yeah.
that we have to initiate. It is a conversation we cannot stop, and it's a conversation that has to be ongoing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Then employer representation. If you look at the full name of GCCI, GCCI actually is the original name.
I know. We're still stuck, with the old one, which
Exactly.
is easier.
Yeah.
There's been extensions.
It's the extension.
So what's the new full name of?
It has agriculture, employer, blah 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 association.
Yeah.
So some of those aspects of our mandate actually have not been brought to the forefront. And under my leadership, I think we'll have to have a lot of discussions with large employers, with medium employers.
And given your background in SSHFC,
exactly.
This is a blessing in disguise.
Exactly, exactly. And also, if you look at it from my informal conversation, generally the informal conversations we have, the Gambian is not the most productive workforce.
Hello.
Yes, we all know. We all say it. Peter. I will hear. In fact, I have had someone say here that they normally work with Sierra Leonean Masoners. Yeah.
Yes.
We also say it's a general statement we all make that Senegalese tell us are better than. So, what is the problem?
Good question.
I don't know.
What is the problem, Fatih?
I don't know, Peter. But I think these are conversations we need to have. And I also believe that we need to re-examine ourselves. A country is as good as the performance productivity of its people. An economy cannot grow bigger than the skills of its workforce. So we need to find ways on how to,
Gradually, Gambians are, facing hard truths about themselves. I mean, yeah, for a very long time, certain things were taboo to say. I mean, certain things were taboo to bring to, the public discussion table. But gradually we're getting there.
Yeah. So these are the main.
These are your six broad.
Exactly.
And which of these do you see as most urgent, and which you will embark upon trying to implement immediately, and why?
Inclusivity and diversity.
Why is that? Do you feel that the youths are left out, or is it the women that are left out, or is it persons with disability like myself who are not, included?
I believe that women are not generally given the role that they deserve. If you go to the craft market, Brikama, Senegambia, the majority are women, and they are not members of the chamber.
Okay.
If you go to Banjul market, the majority of the people who are there, the SMEs particularly, are not part of the chamber. The chamber for a long time has been more of an elitist organization. The banks, the big companies, the telcos, those are the main members of the chamber.
Yes.
But if you look at our GDP, in fact, go through GIPO statistics, the major contributors to our economic development, and it's not only Gambia, but all over, is the SMEs. So we need to have more SMEs to be included. And the chamber also should no longer be a Banjul Serekunda Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, is that what it is right now?
No, I'm not saying that is it. I'm not saying that is it. I'm not saying. But under the leadership of Idimas, we have been able to open a liaison office in Basse.
Ah.
Yeah, I think it's about one year ago. We have a liaison office in Basse. And Basse is as good as Serekunda. I don't know whether you've been going to Basse. Have you been to Basse?
I've been to Basse a couple of times.
How many years ago you might?
The last time I was in Basse was when I was heading to Nyamanar. You know Nyamanar?
Nyamanar, yeah, I've been to Nyamanar.
Exactly. So how many years? Papa Yusunjai should be able to tell.
Oh, that should be like
4 years. 4 years ago when he was launching
the solar. I've been to that place. I've visited that place.
Okay.
I've visited that place.
4 years ago.
So Basse is a major growth center. Outside the greater Banjul area, Basse is the major growth center. And it is only 1-2 years ago that we've been there. They are part of the Gambian private sector. You look at the location of Farafenye and Soma, these are major growth centers. We cannot ignore them. Brikama, my own town. I mean, Sate is Brikama Sate Ba, Brikama Boyo.
Yeah.
So we need to penetrate these other cities or towns.
So you've started in Basse, working backwards towards Banjul.
Exactly.
So the next likely place would be what? Soma?
Would be around Soma
or Bansang?
Soma Farafenye area.
Okay.
Yeah, Bansang also is growing fast. Brikama Ba is growing fast. In fact, I think Brikama Ba is growing faster than Bansang. Oh. These are major areas that we cannot ignore them. They are part of the Gambian private sector, so they need to be co-opted into the sector. And also, there is a proliferation. I don't know whether it is the right word. Chambers, of other chambers, the women chamber, the startup chamber, the youth chamber. So we need to reset our relationship.
American chamber.
I'm champ. So there are several chambers. Why can't we work closely? Because we are all claiming to be serving the same private sector. Of course, with a little difference in terms of the focus. Yeah. So diversity and inclusion is my priority, and definitely I will have an agenda for my first 100 days in office as the president of the chamber.
Fantastic.